there is political, if there is a political science unit called hypocrisy, then that unit can well be studied just by analyzing our politics in this country. Kenya Kwanza are insisting we want an accountable opposition. One side of the mouth. The other side of the mouth, they're whipping Jubilee members of parliament to fold that party and join Kenya Kwanza. Ndio maana mimi nasema mara mingi hapa, and I kept on repeating, my only problem with President Ruto na Kenya Kwanza is that double speak. Nasema huku na huku kuna kitu kingine. Let's go to Nation. Page 5. Oh, na nimeadvertise Nation, itabidi wanilipe kitu kidogo. Page 5. Jubilee MPs want Kioni and Murathe out. What is inside that story is that Uhuru Kenyatta is supposed to exit the leadership of Jubilee Party as per the constitution so that he can take his retirement benefits. And when he resigns as the party leader, rebel members of parliament, a section that had been meeting, Ruto and Gachagua, are plotting a way to kick out the two gentlemen, Kioni and Murathe, on the grounds that they are supporting Azimio la Umoja. So the team that want to remove Jeremiah Kioni, including the former members of Parliament of Jubilee Party, are saying that the party is supposed to be run by fresh blood, and when Uhuru leaves, they're supposed to take over. I looked at this plan as a bit fishy and targeting the individuals. And I'm not speaking on behalf of Jubilee Party, so I'm not privy to what is going on. The president, Rais alisema kwamba anataka opposition ambao itaeka serikali yake kwenye mizani. But then you're busy on the other end snatching opposition parties to join the UDA. That's why we tell you Kenya kwamba uongo ni mingi sana. Hii Kenya uongo ni mingi sana. And that is the currency in politics. Uongo. Hey. Mtu anasema hii huku wengine ni mambo ingine. Telling you. Now, what is happening at Jubilee? I am one person that believe that Jubilee Party was killed by William Ruto. And I want to tell you, that fallout between William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta was designed. You know, later on to the tail end of Uhuru's tenure is when reports emerged that there were even reports to impeach Uhuru after that handshake. So if, and that was because the Jubilee Party MPs had already been captured by President Ruto by then. So the Jubilee capture, the plot to kill Jubilee started way back. And it's not, this report is not new because it could be a continuation of the same script. And I dare say this, UDA party doesn't belong to Mount Kenya. Where? UDA party doesn't belong to Mount Kenya. Acha niwaambie ni ukweli. Tuseme ukweli. That party belongs to President Ruto. And when Ruto will get second term, what atalilia Joe? The Rigathis who are now planning that they will want to use UDA for their Uhuru Kenyatta, for Ruto transition, for Ruto succession. Hey, mtalilia Joe. That party belongs to William Ruto. That part doesn't belong to Mount Kenya. I wish they would have just put hata kama mtakimsiwe ekeni tu hapa as a buffer zone, so that when things go wrong you can always fall back. And you know, it's a party that had enjoyed the following backing of the region and the former President Uhuru Kenyatta. So hata kama mambo ni mbaya nini mngeiweka tu hapo and you create a space for itself. What is happening in this move doesn't require any magical science. There is a scramble for political parties fund that Jubilee is yet to get. That political party's fund is also part of the MPs normally remit it to the party, apart from the amount that MPs remit to the party. There is one that is coming from ORPP, Office of Register of Political Parties, that even Jubilee is going to get a share. And I think if we checked Nation on Friday, I think that was on Saturday, yes, Nation on Saturday, the story was there that the office of the ORPP had released, I think, first batch of that money to the political parties. And that could be it, that people want now to dethrone the current leadership in the guise of taking over it, but they don't want to take it over. They just want to make sure that it's there. They just want to make sure that it's there to, they want just to get a share of it. Because if then Jeremiah Kioni is supposed to leave, then who is this person ready to take on Ruto? Because if they're supposed to leave, and Jubilee to remain on its own, then it must be a party that must play the opposition role. Now, if you look at all these cowards around Jubilee Party, and Lee McQueen calls them conmen. If you look at all these conmen that are now ditching Jubilee Party, are you seeing anyone who is willing to take on Ruto? No. And what is this obsession by killing the party now? There is a big plot to deflate Raila's fortune in the mountain. If Raila got, and sometimes we might dismiss Raila, but if indeed he got the 1.2 million that we normally told, that was reported, and with that 1.2, bado Ruto alishinda tu rais fairly, as they say, free and fair, then what is the obsession of women now winning back that 1.2? What is it? I have a feeling, and I agree with people who say Raila might have got more votes in the mountain. Inaweza kuwa alipata mingi kuliko ile story tunaambiwa. Raila might have got more votes, even if it might not be the tune of what the whistleblower is saying, but it can be slightly more than the 1 million that IBC is talking about. Because there seems to be, if there is a place that is a concentrated work to deflate, is Mount Kenya. But I'll tell you why. It's not spelling a doom, but the way things are going, Ruto is not promising. Kenya Kwanza is not promising. I've been analyzing. One person that I've been analyzing on economic grounds and political occurrences, and some of the policies that are being thrown left, right, and center, they look headless, and there's a possibility. So what Ruto is actually doing now, I can tell you, is just, when the politics of contender fails, then the manipulation works well. Then mobilization. Actually, Kenya Kwanza is doing more mobilization, vote mobilization, than even the development mobilization. If you look at what happens at Yakienda County, prayers there, development promised there, it's just simply mobilization. It goes to... That's what's happening. And though tragedy is that at the right time, Kenyans will not be told. They will say, hey, nabidi wetu. Someone says he's Zakaria, and the tax collector. Now, Jubilee are simply falling into the trap of merging Kenya Kwanza and form one single political party. And I think our politicians don't learn. People can't even learn from Jubilee. Jubilee too was supposed to take Uhuru to State House. And after that, Uhuru never had a business with it. Now, Jubilee too killed dreams, aspirations of many politicians. And our people don't learn. Jubilee too is what killed the Kabogos. Now, Jubilee inataka sasa kuingia huko. Wakishaingia Kenya Kwanza, then you make that one party become a semi-god to your voters. And in the same place, you want to compete with UDA members. Then the Rigathi Gachagua is in charge of everything in matters of elections. I'm telling you, our people should just learn that political parties are vehicles. And the tragedy is a member of parliament, a governor, a senator, an MCA allowing a party to become a semi-god. That has been affecting even Raila's backyard. Because when ODM was made a semi-god, I'm telling you, Watu wanajaribu. Last minute tunasikia sisi tunapigia ODM. And the competition went down. That is going to happen in the mountain. That's what's going to happen there. Lastly, I think this move is just plotted to cut Uhuru Kenyatta's influence and assess his stake. Does he still have an influence? Because remember, for them to even effect the changes, they must call National Delegates Conference. NDC, they need an NDC. It's not done on boardroom. They need an NDC. So when this comes around, they're just waiting to see what the president thinks. The president going to support him. So government will know whether Uhuru Kenyatta is still interested in the Kenyan politics. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my end.